rising to the top. Richard Hart, Pulsechain will never stop. Self-improvement, wealth, we're breaking the mold. Queens of the kingdom, watch us unfold. Whitney Magic counting millions, moving fast. Charlie 2020, turning art into crypto cash. Man of bringing NFTs, painting digital dreams. Sammy Chica, Hexa Kid, Aussie pride on the scene. Tam repping Richard Hart every day. Evangelist for freedom, changing the game away. Jackie Mean Queen got the world laughing loud. Harmonic Hexa Kid singing to crypto crowd.
Queens of the kingdom, crypto in our veins. We own the future, breaking every chain.
Hex and Pulsechain, building our wealth.
King Poi, Queen Poi, reigning in stealth. From the shining city high on the hill, freedom through the fire, we flexing that skill. Crypto's our path to self-improvement and gain. Queens of the blockchain, we're changing the game.
SMO Spider weaving webs across the net. Viber Lindsay teaching how to grow and reset. CC Blonde Texan, crypto crown untied. While SJ traveling, taking crypto to new heights. KTP OG from the land down under. Samantha Yoga Queen, Zen moves like thunder. Ashley Ash, Cosmic Chic on another plane. Sandy Beach spreading love, changing up the game. Jory the network diva, connecting the dots. Rachel the education star, always on top. Crypto culture, a badass, bossing up with pride. Crypto stylist, always fashion by her side. Harper the my queen, stacking up her bags. Suzanne the diamond queen, dripping riches like swag. Queen the beauty beast, moving fierce, no delay. Expensive football queen, running plays all day.
Queens of the kingdom, crypto in our veins. We own the future, breaking every chain.
Hex and Pulsechain, building our wealth.
King Poi, Queen Poi, reigning in stealth.
From the
shining city high on the hill, freedom through the fire, we flexing that skill. Crypto's our path to self-improvement and gain. Queens of the blockchain, we're changing the game.
From Richard Hart's vision to our own crown, crypto queens are rising, we'll never back down. Pulsechain, Hex, DeFi, it's all in our hands. We're breaking the limits, taking over the lands. With King Poi, Queen Poi, we light up the scene. In the shining city, crypto reigns supreme. Queens of the kingdom, forever we strive. Freedom, wealth, and power, we keeping it live. We are the crypto queens forever, standing tall. In the kingdom of blockchain, we answer the call. Wealth, freedom, self-love, we found our way. The queens of crypto are here to stay.
The content shared in this YouTube video, as well as any resources linked below, is not intended to be interpreted or relied upon.
Hey, you guys get the point. Shit show. Nothing here is financial advice. You guys, we're here to have fun, make crypto great again. I'm excited. Today is the shit show. We got ourselves, what are we, 73 on episodes, and we got Shill Gates up in the house. I got a little video for Shill Gates before I bring some folks up here. Let's kick this shit off.
In a cozy room, lights dimmed low. King Poi's chillin', let the good vibes flow. Charts on the screen flicker and glow. Counting my coins while the soft beats roll. Sipping on tea, let the worries fade. Riding the waves in this crypto trade. Wallets filling up, got that sweet sound. In the heart of a hustle, peace can be found. King Poi, king of crypto dreams. In this digital world, nothing's as it seems. With each gentle beat, let the worries fade. Living life slow in a crypto parade. Whispers of games echo through the night. Starlit visions, everything feels right. Moonlight reflecting on the screen so bright. Dancing with numbers in the soft twilight. Lo-fi beats strong, creating the mood. A soundtrack for dreaming, so mellow and crude. Building my kingdom, one block at a time. in this decentralized world. I'm finding my rhyme. King boy, king of crypto dreams in this digital world. Nothing's
Konnichiwa!
What's going on, you guys? I'm going to bring Shill Gates up right now. Bang, bang. I also got our boys from Panama down at the No Permissions Conference right here, chilling. Both on camera. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. We're doing the thing, man, in Panama. Live from Panama.
All right. Well, we got Shill Gates in the house.
Guys, what's up?
What's up, Shill?
Hoorah! What's up, guys?
Hoorah, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Must be you trying to get in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to be respectful for Shill, but what's going on in Panama? You got SJ down there? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
just
got
saying
SJ
hello,
down
man.
there. You got all kinds of people up in there, huh?
Yeah. Here, take him around.
Oh, what's up, my man? Corey, the investor in the house.
You're live on the shit show.
Oh, shit.
You already know what's going on, man. How y'all doing? Y'all here having a little combo.
Breakout comments. Yeah.
Don't let Randy know that you're freaking live footage and he'll get pissed.
So yeah,
All right.
they're having a little breakout conversation and everything. But anyways,
right.
we'll try to jump on tomorrow. This time kind of works out, so we'll say what's up. But love you, Shill. Thanks for coming on.
Right on, guys. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Have fun, guys.
Later. All right. So with that out of the way, I'm glad they're having fun. Networking is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And dude, I mean, how you feeling, man? I mean, like, so just off the cuff, man, how you feeling about crypto and Pulsechain?
I'm feeling good. I think it's gonna be a bit of a slow grind in terms of like everybody had their hopes set on Trump just becoming president and everything exploding, and I don't think it works that way. I think there's gonna be a slow rollout of news. I think there's a lot of legal stuff that needs to get taken care of still. And I'm pointing towards probably the peak of alt season, like Bitcoin tops happening in the later end of 2025. So I've done a lot of charting behind it, and it seems to be that's when it occurs post halving. It's usually in Q4 of the year following the halving year. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Pulsechain. I'm bullish on all the cool things everybody's building here, and it's exciting. Like I always say, I feel like this is the second chance at Ethereum, and I was there for the original first chance at Ethereum, and I get the same vibes here. And I think it's Pulsechain is a great platform to build on, and it's a great user experience to use because it's so cheap and fast, which is how Ethereum was back in the day before they had all their scaling issues.
Yeah, from like all your tweets that I've seen, like the one thing that's different than Ethereum that I would say is like, hey, you kind of got this guy that has a little bit of a bravado, not even a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He's cocky. I mean, it's a totally
Cocky,
different thing than like Vitalik, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. And the other thing is the community. Like the Ethereum community was nowhere near as passionate and committed as the Pulsechain and Hex community.
oh, flat out, man. I mean, it's tough for you to, I mean, obviously you could fork code, you could fork, the whole system state, but you can't fork community, man. I mean,
Right.
the community is bar none. Like, obviously we got our boys down here, like Panama in the house. They're doing their thing. They're just, community driven, just chopping it up. And then we got Vegas. I'm teeing up literally teeing up because we're sponsoring some holes down there as far as the cryptocurrencies that we've developed and done. But we're excited about just like, I got cheat code going in there. I got some Vegas golfers coming to play for us. And so last time at the first annual golf tournament, I got some just badass freaking golfers, and I had them be the Hex team, and sure enough, they won the tournament. And
You stacked it.
I stacked it. And this year, I'm gonna do it for King Pooey and Queen Pooey. I'm gonna get some queens that are like semi-pro golfers, and just
Nice.
let them do their thing. But flat out, the networking opportunity down there. I know a lot of people like to shit on like the fact that, oh, you got to go and pay, and that could be money that, you know, I believe that your network is your net worth, and you've exemplified that as far as the things that you do in crypto, on Twitter, on the blockchain. I mean, you're always networking. I see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I agree 100%. I think I said it on your show actually before. Like, I am very pro networking and very pro meetups and conferences and all. If that's your scene, like if that's something that interests you, you
Right.
should go. And there's definitely, I think, where some of the negative energy comes in the past, not in Pulsechain, but in crypto as a whole. There have been some conferences that were kind of like out of control in terms of like their pricing, and it was usually during the bull markets and stuff, but like the tickets were just crazy, and people were like, yo, what is going on? But I think that's where a lot of the negative sentiment comes from. But in terms of like the Post-chain tour and stuff like that, like the pricing is adequate, and you got to understand, like, these people are coordinating these events to try to give you an experience and a good time, and these venues aren't cheap, and feeding all these people isn't cheap. These people aren't making a lot of money off of this.
No, I mean, if you know SJ and if you know Black Hexagon, they're working tirelessly behind the scenes in order to make this event happen. I mean, like, a lot of people don't even know, back in the day, they were very aware of Black Hexagon and everything that she does as far as a community member, but she's kind of taken a step back and she just works behind the scenes. But she's a queen. She's a boss, boss
She's
Bia.
great.
Oh
I had
man.
her SJ one night had to call out and couldn't do the weekly stream I do with her, so I had crypto culture on, and
Yeah.
she was incredible. We had the best conversation. I love her.
And she always says she don't like to come on camera. She don't like to do this kind of stuff, but she holds it down. Bottom
Oh
line is,
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, I've done a couple of Zoom calls and a couple streams with her, and it's like she, like some people, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't mind being an extrovert and networking, but you give me the opportunity to go sit on a beach and just chill out. Hey, that's how I'll
I'm
do it
taking
too.
it.
I'm taking it, man. I'm taking it. Um, yeah, so Vegas coming up March 6th through the 9th, you guys. And to that point that you just made, everyone deserves the right within crypto to just do, I mean, similar to what you do as far as your networking on Twitter Spaces. If people want to be private about it, but get out and make
Yeah.
some noise, you guys.
Well, that's the thing, and like I always try to inspire other people. Like, there's nothing really special about me, and I don't know if you feel the same, but like we're just two guys that are passionate about something, that are sharing our passion with the rest of the world. So like I feel like anybody that has a desire to do what me or you or anybody else does that's public, like they should just go for it. Like, just get a little setup and just start doing it. Who cares if it doesn't do well right away? Like, just start getting your voice out there and
Yeah.
representing for something you believe in, and eventually the pieces will fall into place.
Now I'm gonna push back a little bit because you got your superpowers that that you tap into. I know I have them, and the fact of the matter is, I believe everybody has a little bit of a super like Superman or Superwoman, like abilities to tap into. I mean, I know that we're all special, but like, here's the deal: I know that I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed, but I sure know where to find that tool. You know what I mean? And I sure
Yeah,
know
I
who
get
it is. You know what I mean? And that's kind of that superpower too, is like knowing going back to the network, is knowing where to find the resources to get the answer. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm a big
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah. Yo, Betsy, you back up in here? What's your deal, Leo, man? I seen the Pulsechain cabal. Are you just kind of like float up in there? All right, we'll just keep it
Guess
rolling.
not.
I guess not. I guess not. What's he got going on here? Do not pull me up, drop me. All right, peace. All right, so he's doing his thing. Yeah, I had a question. So basically, as a prominent figure within Pulsechain now, and I see that you've kind of made it your mission, your cause, and your belief, right?
Yeah.
How do you envision Pulsechain basically in, where do you see Pulsechain's like role in the altcoin season here coming in 2025?
It's a tough question. I don't want to say tough, but there are some factors that I think need to change. Obviously, the SEC case, to a lesser extent, the Interpol thing. I don't think the Interpol thing has as much of an impact because it's a personal issue, like it's a tax issue. It has nothing to do with the actual assets, whereas the SEC case mentions them specifically.
Yeah.
I think if you let's just say that gets dropped or he wins or whatever, like it's a positive outcome. I think if that's the case, I think in alt season, post chain can probably be some of the biggest gainers in crypto. Like I don't see why, because especially because they've been so artificially held down because of this issue and other issues. Like I don't see why they would, like there's so much headroom for them to just have gains, other than like there may be a couple like rogue meme coins on other chains that end up doing really well, like we saw with Trump or whatever, like stuff like
Right.
that. But I genuinely think that the most uh chance for like a high ceiling is in Pulse Chain right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I recently seen, and I don't know what you spoke of Trump. I don't know. It looks like on DBank, I could be wrong, but I want to see it like see it from my own eyes. It looks like he's stacking some Pulsechain. Is that
Yeah,
true?
I
You think?
think
Yeah.
no, I think what happened is, and I kind of pushed for this. His wallets are public, so anybody can send
Oh,
him stuff. So a bunch of people sent him things that they wanted to promote because they know a bunch of eyes are going to be on those wallets seeing what he holds. And
right.
all I kept saying was like, make sure it's a large enough number to make it seem like it's actually something he holds. So I think the guys from Solid X, who I don't know, they sent like 100,000 of Solid X. So
Okay.
like that definitely put them on the map. The only problem with Pulse Chain is like when you look at his wallet, you don't see it natively, because it's an
Uh,
Ethereum wallet. So you'd have to use, like you said, DBank and go dig in and find the Pulse Chain coins. Like if people really wanted to send something, in my opinion, it would be EHEX, because
right.
that shows up right on the front page of all the people looking at his wallet to see what he holds.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, like obviously he hasn't like uploaded the. I know what you're talking about. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah, so his pulse chain wouldn't show up because he hadn't gone through the steps to exactly. So yeah, ehex would be interesting. I'm trying to think of what other project that's kind of like a straddling the fence that could do that, but yeah, neither here nor there. That's amazing stuff, man. Huh. Okay. Um,
I
I
did
do.
just see, speaking of Trump, Hexologist just said that he applied for his White House press pass. I don't, I don't know if that's like a possibility, but apparently it's a real thing that he's pursuing.
The dude spent the last bull cycle being a doctor, hexologist. Hey, why not, dude? I love to
Yeah.
see him with a pocket protector and like something that's just like media, just walking up in there and just like asking like some shit post type questions. But hey, we had B Roots down in Mar-a-Lago doing this thing, and he was able to ask Trump some good questions that got caught on camera. Hey, might as well get some Hexicans up in the White House and start asking some good crypto questions too.
Yeah, I'd love to see Richard get involved too, with either with Trump directly or with some of the like the crypto council stuff and the thing, because he's such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to blockchain and crypto, and he's been around, I think, as long, if not he's been around longer than I have. And to have somebody that's as big of an asset as him and as intelligent as he is, like helping to shape the landscape of crypto's future, I think is really important. And I hope that that's something that he's considering pursuing, to try to, leverage his wealth and his name to get in to help them shape this.
Yeah, I mean, talk about um, being in it for glory, being the shining city on the hill. Like you said, we need to get that SEC thing out the way. But the good news in this day and age, like that's not going to be a black eye because look at the current standing president right now.
Yeah.
I
He
mean, the
has
dude,
his own meme coin.
he has his own meme coin, and he's like a sitting president that's a felon. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
like having like a little bit of a like some street cred. Hey, that's actually a good thing.
exactly.
That's
I
like
mean,
some good stuff.
yeah, he used to work with the mob in New York. Like Trump is not like your standard politician. He's a
Nah.
very, I don't want to say dirty, but he's gotten his hands dirty. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, and then when you have a situation where you've already been run through the gauntlet of like people just like trying to like put you in prison or do all these crazy things that he's been through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Trump's a gangster, right? Like even just the other day, I saw Colombia was trying to refuse a flight of the criminals that we were deporting, and he basically told him, he's like, "All right, cool, 25% tariffs, like all your people that are here, like your administrative people, like their visas are revoked, like that we're sending them back." And like within a day, they were just like, "Okay, we'll accept the plane."
yeah. I mean, the guy is the art of the deal. It'll be interesting because like I mean, I know we're stepping away from crypto a little bit here, but like as far as Trump goes, like I've thought about like, shit, these tariffs, man, he's really going hard. And then it's like, shit, he's going hard with the like the cartels as far as like that kind of stuff. And then like, I mean, sending the troops to the border. Sometimes it's great for us, but the other times I'm like, man, we might be creating some bad freaking enemies here. But
Yeah,
hey,
I
he's
mean,
a gangster.
yeah, it's a tightrope. Like
It is a tightrope.
I think so many other countries rely on us that it's hard for us to make enemies out of them because they need us so much. I don't know like the true like international politics and all that, but I
Right.
feel like most of these countries, like he's always said, is it's a very like leech style relationship where they just take from us and they don't really give us shit in return. So, kind of pushing back against them, they do kind of need us. So
Oh yeah.
they rely on us a lot. And it's like, even if they dislike him, they don't really have a choice. Like what you just saw with Colombia. They're like, you would destroy our country by doing just those tiny little tweaks.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like China has an entire infrastructure and economy built on providing goods, Barbie dolls, all this kind of crap that we buy at Walmart. You know what I mean? And so they're like, oh shit, I
I
guess the
mean,
cat.
listen. I have a bit of like a different perspective on that, and it might not be the common one as an American, but I actually love China. Like I buy a lot of Chinese shit, and it's great because it's cheap and it usually works. Like it's not like high quality, but it generally tends to get the job done.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you have dudes lacing up their boots over in China just like we do,
Oh yeah,
and so like
horrible conditions.
horrible conditions, but they working. Not and like you said, not everything is just factory just freaking send it. But like bottom line is, yeah, their economy depends on America buying goods and services, or more or less goods. So
Yeah.
if Trump wants to align it where we are getting paid and breaking down our deficit, hopefully that's cool. You
Well,
know,
that's the goal. And then with Elon coming in with Vivek and all that, trying to clean up all this bloat and like overspending, like that has been one of my biggest issues for years. Like there's just so much corruption and bureaucracy and just like overspent, like misuse of our funds that we're slaving and working hard to contribute to this country and the government that's just like throwing money around like it's nothing.
I know, man. It's crazy. And everyone's lining up at the White House right now, like Sir Trump, like they're wanting to get the spigot money too, you know what I mean? They're lining up, they're like, oh shit, well, he's in office. Here we come, look at how Facebook and Meta, is now like showing up, just like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up, dude? What's up, bro? How
Hey,
you
bro, I've been a
doing?
big fan. What's up?
They know. They
Yeah,
know
he
that.
was growing his hair out and everything in preparation for this, trying to be like a bro.
Hey,
But hey,
yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say let's talk about hot sauce is lethal in the comments. Just said the Fed rate decision is in 37 minutes. Be
Okay.
prepared for volatility.
I mean, facts, man. I mean, 1913 was no joke when, Jekyll Island came out and they decided, let's start some income tax and let's create the Federal Reserve and let's basically be the kingpin within the economy through what we do. And so many people and so many decisions are made through what the Fed does.
Yeah. And
I
that's
mean,
all it is. It's like a modern Game of Thrones, but it's based around money.
yeah. And conspiracy crypto, you're right. It is like a form of mafia.
Well,
I mean,
I watch a lot of mafia channels, and they always say that, like
yeah,
Michael Franzese and like a bunch of these ex like mafia like high ranking guys. They always say the government is the biggest mafia there is.
I'll flat out, man. I mean, anytime that you are hopping off to an island with a bunch of bankers back in 1913 and you're being secretive about it, and then you're coming back and you're launching the Federal Reserve at Christmas Eve at midnight, kind of shady. Kind of
And here's
shady,
the
y'all.
thing, back then it was so easy to get away with shit. Like
Oh,
now it's
yeah.
a lot harder with the internet and stuff. Like news
Oh,
travels fast.
for sure.
But
Someone's
back then,
pulling
like
at their phone.
yeah, like
Now,
imagine the amount of shit that they did back then that nobody knew about. I mean, even now, like Trump's releasing all these files on JFK and
yeah,
MLK and RFK, and
yeah,
like they could literally just like pull off hits back then, and nobody. I mean, some people even argue they just try to do it with Trump. So it's like, but yeah, like I'm well versed in all the things that you're talking about because back in the
right.
day I used to watch a ton of documentaries and
Rabbit
conspiracy stuff,
holes.
and like yeah, it's like the way like money was created and like the purpose of credit and all this stuff, like it's all always been to fuck over the little guy and to make them like the people at the top more rich. And I'm not one of those people that hates successful people. I'm talking about people
No,
above them, like the controllers of the countries and like the people in the back, like the banking cartels and shit like that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, to this point, we'll have to keep an eye on that. As far I think the Fed might just freaking pause still, but we'll see if they cut. But sometimes cutting actually, like you said, creates some volatility. It'll be interesting. It'll be
I
interesting,
like volatility. Volatility is my friend because it either means one of two things. It either means I have a good buying opportunity or I just made some money.
right? I mean, what side of the coin you want to be on?
Well, that's the beauty of crypto, right? Like the beauty of crypto is how volatile it is. That's what makes people so rich. Like most people in the stock market don't have this type of opportunity to get this type of wealth by a stock going up. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that. Like Nvidia did really well. There's
Right?
always an outlier, but in crypto, most of the coins are the outlier. Like you can get 50 to 100% swings in a couple days, and there's nowhere else in the world that you can get that really.
Yeah, and even Nvidia was, kind of tied to Bitcoin in many ways for a
Yeah,
lot of the, you know what I mean? So it's like,
mining and AI and all that, like
which again, I've been pinching myself trying not to like, the contrarian point of view from a lot of what Trump's been talking about as of recently when he came out and says, I want America to be number one in AI and in crypto. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, this kind of seems like it's too good to be true. What's the left hand doing? You know what I mean? Like I like what the right hand's doing, but like what's the like
Well,
all
here's the
these
thing, right? Like I feel like the left hand is doing is Trump has been secretly stockpiling crypto, like privately. Yeah, obviously he's
yeah,
publicly done it too, but I believe like either through family members or like close personal friends, like they've been buying up a fuck ton of crypto. There's no doubt in my mind. And they're going to use their ability to change policy to benefit crypto and just make themselves even wealthier.
yeah.
I mean, we just saw it. Like the meme coin was a giant cash grab. Like I'm not
Oh,
mad at it. I made a bunch of money off it too. But it's just like like there was no reason for that to happen other than for them to make a fuck ton of money.
and they rotated into ETH, which is kind of crazy part. Because I got some people that I know, like on Solana, that had these Twitter Spaces, and they were crying, man, crying hard.
Yeah.
I,
But this is what I didn't understand back in the day, right? Like all these rich people, all these smart, like wealthy people, they never saw this opportunity that we all saw. We all knew that this was a tool to really like multiply our money in this insane degree. And I can't believe, I mean, some of them did, like Peter Thiel, and there were a couple other like major millionaires and billionaires that jumped on board. But like guys like Trump, like he was very anti-crypto. Even guys like what's his name? Peter, oh my god, I
Peter
just blanked
Thiel?
on his name. No,
No.
Peter
Oh, Peter Schiff.
Schiff.
Yeah, Peter Schiff.
Yeah. Like all I mean, I think he secretly owns crypto.
Yeah,
I literally think he's just engagement farming on Twitter at this point, and he's getting paid residuals and drawing more attention to himself because everybody comments on his thing, and he hits that algorithm super cycle. But
yeah.
like these guys can't be that stupid. How can me, like a ex felon, like ex drug addict, figure this out, but these multimillionaires can't? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, I guess you and I are in the same company as far as X this and X that, but you're right. Like as far as like Jamie Dimon, come on, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, but again, look who he works for. Mr.
Yeah. You know
Chase.
what it reminds me of though? Like it reminds me of when music went digital. Remember how
Yeah,
like all the record companies kind of missed it and like they just didn't
yeah,
get it. They stuck to their core, like we're making CDs and music is
yeah.
a physical thing that you buy. Yeah, and then they all
Yeah.
get left behind.
Don't be the blockbuster, but you want to be the blockbuster on the blockchain, you guys. That's the fact of the matter. Get ready for the digital revolution, because if your blockbuster videos, cry. Netflix just joined the party. You know what I mean?
And I remember when Blockbuster tried to catch up, but back then it was buying, like getting it through the mail. Like
Right.
the original Netflix was you ordered something and it came in your mail, and it was better than having to go to Blockbuster. And then Blockbuster started offering that, but then Netflix went all digital and Blockbuster disappeared.
And I believe that the blockbuster team or the C-level brass or CEOs actually got presented with the opportunity, and they're like, no, hard pass. Like, we believe in these cassettes. Like I think this is even prior to like they were just starting to roll out even DVDs, but they're like, yeah, we really like the VHSs, bro. Sorry, we got to have
Yeah.
brick and mortar.
But
And
this
it's
is why, like, this is an important lesson for crypto, and especially anybody out there that's building, because staying ahead of the curve and being in tune with the new like right now AI is very big, so like trying to leverage that and figure out a way to make a blockchain project with AI. Not,
jeez,
there's some that are kind of like they just attach AI to the name. I'm talking about
right?
something that actually uses and leverages AI for something that is revolutionary. I don't know what that is, but like this is the lane that you kind of want to be traveling in right now, because you're ahead of the curve. Like people saying, like there's a lot of pushback against AI. We were literally just talking about it. Like it's frowned upon in some ways, and people are scared of it. And like to me, that presents an amazing opportunity, just like digital movies or digital music or cryptocurrency over standard currency or whatever it is. Like being on the cutting edge of that stuff is usually very rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, I know you use it every day. I use it every day. I need to increase my wealth of information on how to use it in different areas. I'm ready to like jump all in until Mad Max hits, and like I'm just like, oh man, I gotta get back to figuring out how to farm on my own,
Yeah, we're
because
fighting the robot war.
yeah, then if I don't have my AI tools, well, you better have other tools too in place, you guys, because you don't want to get caught with that. But
Well,
you
that's how
know,
I use AI to enhance my existing abilities. Like I know I could do it myself, but AI
right.
just streamlines it and makes it easier.
Yeah, I was showing my mom over the weekend, like, like it used to be where like, hey kids, no calculators in school. Well, now calculators are involved. And kids don't necessarily know how to maybe go from, like, I don't know, square root of, 69, times, 7. They don't necessarily know maybe how to get there, but they know if they punch it in their calculator, they get the answer. Cool. Well, sometimes it's the same case with AI, where it's like you may know the question, and so it's better for you to know how to. She goes, well, doesn't that take away from the creativity? I go, well, how good are you at creating the right question? Because if you know how to
Yeah,
ask the right question, you're
that's
gonna
a
get
great
an
point.
you're gonna get an answer that maybe no one else has seen. You know what I mean?
The other thing that's cool that I think they intentionally built in, usually, especially with ChatGPT, it shows you how it gets the answer. So, like,
Right.
if it's a math thing, it'll explain the math to you. So you're kind of learning if you're interested in learning while it
Right.
happens. A lot of times that pisses me off. I'm like, just give me the fucking answer.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool for kids like that maybe like need to learn these things. But I relate it to what's it called? I don't know where I was going. Never mind.
No, but it's fire though. Like I was, my mom had no idea that, like, because I'll use my microphone too when I'm speaking into like my AI, and I'll just be like, hey, because we got some stuff coming out that she's aware of, and I'll be like, hey, talk about my crypto clothing merch store that's about to go public and how it's going to involve the cryptocurrency that blah, 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 blah. And it'll just start give me a to-do list, and like
Yeah.
boom, it just start
Yeah. It'll write you
just,
like a whole business plan. I've done it
oh
for
yeah,
multiple things and an outline, and like you just feed it the base information and it'll literally like iterate on top of that and plan your whole thing out. The thing that I was thinking of was like think of you're about my age, I think. So like think about the things that we used to have to do that we no longer have to do. Like
shit, I
back
know.
in the day, we used to have to remember people's phone numbers. Back in
Fuck
the
yeah,
day, we used to remember how to get somewhere. Like we didn't have GPS. Like you literally it would either have to pull out a map or MapQuest or whatever it was, but like most of the stuff we kept in our heads. And like now, if you ask
yeah.
me, like other than like main thoroughfares and stuff, like I wouldn't know how to get anywhere.
I mean, you calling up your homies at his parents' house, and they're like, no, he's out. And then
Yeah,
you gotta like you had to remember like, okay, who does he kick it with? All right, I'm gonna call
yeah.
their house, and you
Call
just,
there
just
out.
call their. No, he ain't here. All right, man. Where else could he be? You call up the other dude. No, he ain't here. We think he went here. Oh
Yeah.
shoot. I'm gonna just walk there then and forget it. You know what I mean? And finally, like 3-4 hours later, you finally meet up with him. You're like, yeah,
Yep. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I had my room at my parents' house. I had like I literally splatter painted the whole room. So the walls were white and I just stood in the middle with cans of black paint and just like flicked paint everywhere. So like my room, like the walls weren't pristine. So I would write all these fucking phone numbers just all over my walls. Like I had probably like 100 phone numbers of all my friends and girls and whatever. And like
oh yeah.
it was like my contacts in my cell phone, but it was just written on my wall.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. Especially when you're getting the girls' phone numbers and all that kind of good stuff. You got to have
Oh
them up on
yeah,
the wall.
good time.
Um, so switching a little bit of gears. I mean, you got Trump's meme, all that kind of good stuff. How do you envision, like, I guess meme coins on Pulsechain, man? I mean, like,
It's
like
weird because like Pulsechain, I don't want to say this in like a negative way, but I feel like a lot of the people here are kind of out of the loop in terms of what's going on in the rest of crypto. Like
yeah,
the main focus in the rest of crypto right now is meme coins. Like they're calling it a meme coin super cycle. Everybody's getting super rich off meme coins. Like people are becoming millionaires literally every day. And when I came here, I'm looking around and I'm like, there's hardly any meme coin culture here at all. I mean, there's obviously like Teddy Bear and Mog and Peasy and stuff like that that's up
yeah,
toward the higher end of the charts, but I feel like a lot of people here kind of have, I'm going to say blinders. I don't mean it in a negative sense, but like they're just hyper focused on these utility coins and stuff like that. And that was the old mantra in crypto. Like it was all about utility. But I feel like that recently, at least in this season, has shifted. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money on memes, especially bringing memes to Pulsechain. And I have a couple buddies that are about to do something really cool like that, but I can't talk about it. And
Yeah.
but I think the thing that I always try to preach to people is to follow the trends. Like we were just talking about with music going digital, or VHS turning into digital movies. Like those are trends, and the trend right now in crypto is generally meme coins and then AI to a lesser extent. And it's like those are the areas where people are getting rich right now. So why wouldn't you try to allocate at least some of your capital or portfolio to doing that? I mean, it's gambling at the end of the day, but all of this is gambling. So I just feel like a lot of people are kind of missing the point. And that doesn't mean abandon your core beliefs and abandon Hex and PLS and Inc. and PLSX. It just means with some of the extra money you have, why not go try to catch some of these other things and then take your profits out quick? Like they're quick flips. And then you take that money and put it into the things that you really believe in long term.
Yeah, man. I mean, something that I always wrestle with is like, I believe that, like you said, meme coins can sometimes get a black eye, and we've always looked at it like, well, how can you capture the culture? How can you have a meme coin that has staying power? So I'm always thinking about that. But some of what you talked about, as far as like so many people in Hexaco, Hex is the GOAT. I get it. But sometimes it's like everything else is just shit. Well, not everything is shit, you guys. Come on now.
But here I have a great analogy for that, right? Because that goes back to the Bitcoin maxi conversation. And
Yep.
if everybody listened to the Bitcoin maxis, nobody would have ever bought Hex,
Oh,
because
flat
their
out.
whole thing was that no other coin should exist but Bitcoin. So now the people that found Hex because they went against that mindset, now they're doing the same thing with Hex, where they're saying nobody should buy anything but Hex, or nobody should buy anything but core coins. And you're closing people off to the next Hex or the next big thing that's going to make people millionaires. And it's like, I don't understand, coming from somebody that was shouted down by Bitcoin maxis, how you turn around and become them.
Oh yeah, like even the GOAT there, Richard Hart, was a Bitcoin maxi, and
Yeah.
then he fell in love with the idea of Ethereum, and then who recently just backed up $500 million worth of ETH? Oh, Richard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like,
That, like, there's a lot of contradictions there, right? Because like I
yeah,
don't think people are able to separate Richard's marketing from Richard's like true belief systems. Because if you listen to what Richard says, buy Hex, it's the only safe thing, don't get wrecked. But then he's overplaying in all these other sandboxes doing all this other shit. And it's like, well, wait a minute, you just told us the only safe thing to buy is Hex. So that's all we need. But why did you just buy Ethereum?
I mean, this is an extreme example, but it might be like a parent that's chilling out, drinking a little bit, smoking a little bit, and then they're like telling their kid that's like 13, but it ain't for you.
Yeah, but here's
You know,
like this, I'm, as a marketer, I'm able to separate the two. I think a lot
right?
of what he says is marketing his own products. So he's making his product seem like it's the only safe bet, it's the only thing you need, but that's not reality, and he knows that's not reality because he's not even practicing it. But it's a marketing thing, and I can't get mad at him for that.
Yeah, no, and he's taking care of his tribe, his people, just trying to make sure that they, like anything, you don't want to see people get wrecked, but
No.
maybe due to his seasonality within the markets, he understands that like I'm more well versed and capable of navigating these waters, and I don't want you guys to get chopped up, which I can appreciate. You don't want
Well,
people.
all right. Let's be all the way real, because this is, I feel like this is a real podcast. Like most people that followed him got chopped up. Like, I'm not shitting on him, but like Hex is down what, 90%, something like that. And a lot of people bought the top. I've talked to him every day. So like he didn't necessarily protect anybody any more than anybody else did. I'm not throwing shade or shitting
No,
on him, but like it's just the reality. Like there is a lot of risk in crypto. There's a lot of risk in Hex. There's a lot of risk in ETH. There's a lot of risk in Bitcoin. Like, people are gonna get chopped up, and there's no way for Richard to protect you from that. So if you go into it knowing that you're gambling and knowing that you're potentially going to get chopped up, why wouldn't you try to spread your base out a little bit and, hedge against getting chopped up and all in on one coin, and invest in multiple different things to try to enhance your wealth? Like, that's always been my message. And I didn't come here to value extract or pull people out of Hex, but like,
Right.
I have a large base. I'm involved in a lot of different chains, and there's a reason behind that, because when something like Hex right now is not doing well, I have other things that are doing great.
Right.
And I'm not stressing it as much because I know that I have these other things that are performing. And then eventually Hex will perform and those other things will go down. Like, it's a constant balancing system.
And that's kind of where like knowledge is power. Like if I remember back when Hex was, at about the 2 cent range, and it started just climbing to that 55 cent top where a lot of people bought in. Unfortunately, for a lot of those people that were just buying in thinking this is the coin, they didn't understand that there was a Pulsechain sacrifice going on, and that there were big players and sharks and whales that knew that if the price went up, they were getting more bang for their buck within the Pulsechain sacrifice. Because
they also,
what I mean?
They also weren't educated on the greater crypto market as a whole, which also crashed at the same time and brought everything down with it. So like,
flat out,
I feel like a lot of times, and this isn't a shot at all, but a lot of people that were onboarded strictly into Hex or strictly into Pulsechain, they don't necessarily have all the tools needed to analyze the market as a whole, because they've never been exposed to it, because they've always been told this is all you need.
Yeah.
So trying to understand the market cycles and stuff, like I've talked to a lot of people that all they talk about is Hex, and they leave out the importance of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and like how those two kind of control the rest of what happens in all of the other blockchains.
Yeah. Yep. To that point, I want to highlight this this point right here, as far as the Hex is down 99 point whatever 9%, and this chick over here, links over on Twitter, made a good point today. I'll throw it in the chat for anybody to go follow her. She follows us also, but flat out, she said, if your coin's down 99% and it has staying power, it might be the right coin. And to that point, what I'm trying to say is Hex ain't going nowhere.
Well, yeah, it's a great buying opportunity. Like, those are the types of coins that you want. You want to buy coins that are down bad, that have great fundamentals, and potentially even like outside influencers that are making them be down that bad, which is the SEC. So that's why I saw such a good opportunity here in terms. I love the tech and I love what's built, and I also see that it's artificially like being held down. So I was like, why wouldn't I put a bunch of money into this?
Oh yeah. Like, no financial advice, but I mean, I'm pretty sure someone might want to go past their all-time high from last cycle. I'll leave it at that. And the dude
of
has
course,
like,
that's the goal. Like,
that's the goal, you know what I mean? And I'm sure, with the right momentum, it will do just that.
Here's the thing that you said earlier that's important. Richard has a big ego, and he's I would say, and I again don't mean this like negatively, but I think he might even admit it. He's a little narcissistic, and he really wants the glory and the love. And in order to do that, he needs to have his things that he created perform. So unless he figures out a way to make it eclipse what it's done before, I think most people will view it as a failure. And I don't personally believe that. That's not my belief. I just believe that that's what the general consensus would be about him is, oh yeah, see, we told you so. So in his mind, he's like, I need to outperform what I've already done in order to get the glory that I desire as somebody who believes that I need to be loved by everyone, which I just posted that video the other day.
I seen it. I seen it. Yep.
Yeah, so I think like he's hopefully going to be hyper focused on being as successful as possible.
I believe he will. And there's a lot of characteristics between Richard and our sitting president right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this alpha, like I'm going to be top dog at all costs. I'm going to show in Richard's, case, I'm going to show, and it's not that he's not building great products, on the blockchain, cause he is, but he wants to prove it flat out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's and time will tell. I see a lot of people cry, and my conviction is, like, when I'm talking with other people from like Sui or Solana, I'm like, hey, do your thing, but know that there's an opportunity for you guys to rotate in, because there's a guy that might be doing something. Just saying. Like,
Well, yeah, I don't see why, other than like the the optics for mainstream crypto of how they view what we have going on here, like in terms of the negative thing. Like I posted a video a week or two ago of these guys like literally just talking shit about Hex and Pulsechain, and they had no clue what they were even talking about. And I feel like that's a lot of mainstream crypto people, but I don't see why you wouldn't hedge and put money into this, knowing that there's potential for it to do really well, especially once this case is gone. Like that's kind of the stance that I've come from. Obviously, I think all the tech is cool. Shout out to Fast Abdul in the comments. He
I
loves
know
the tech.
he
But
does love the tech. He
I
built tech.
I I am a guy that appreciates fundamentals in tech because I've been around so long and I've seen all the different like evolutions of tech. So to me, it's very cool being able to have a second chance at Ethereum. But like even just to the standard investor, like you're looking at something that could potentially provide great returns. Why wouldn't you at least throw some money at it and hedge?
Exactly, man. What are the talking points you want to hit on, or do you want to leave the folks with like some closing statements of
Yeah, just real quick, you had posed a
yeah,
question before we started. It was about onboarding, and I
yeah,
really like I've been a big proponent of trying to onboard. I feel like a lot of people here are like that's some messaging that Richard has ingrained in people, and I think that that's really good. And for me, like I think being loud is probably one of the best ways to onboard. Like I can't tell you how many people have been in my DMs just asking me questions, like my old followers and stuff, and even some new followers that aren't post chain related. Like I get new followers that aren't strictly from post chain or Hex, and my DMs are usually I get a couple a week of people just inquiring and asking, and I've converted a few of them and had them set up wallets, and I've actually sent money to a couple of them just to get them started. And for me, it's all about just getting the message out there and also just doing it in a way that's intelligent and not spammy, or
right,
what's the word I want to say, like being
slimy,
negative. Like
right,
yeah, like don't go around shitting on other chains, like because there's people that love those chains. So if you're trying to capture their attention and bring them on, be like, oh yeah, Solana's cool, but hey, check out Post Chain too. Like it does X, Y, and Z. Like you don't run around saying like fuck Solana, come to Post Chain. Like it doesn't work like that. Because the same way you guys are protective of Hex and Post Chain, those people are protective of
right.
Ethereum, Solana, Sui, whatever. Like, so when you're making them enemies, you're turning them off.
Roll flat out. And to that point, like Fast Abdul creating 2Fucks, the reason I brought 2Fucks up is like I think that when you find to that point of like when you're trying to onboard and there's different things, like find a conviction in something. Like I'm using 2Fucks as an example. Like it's a great opportunity for you to earn yield. I mean, who doesn't
Yeah.
like, yield? You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. He has a platform in which that you could go farm and you could create, yield. If that's your show game and that's your onboarding process, it doesn't mean that you always step up in a microphone. It doesn't necessarily mean you step up on even Twitter, but that's a pretty easy sell to like even your grandma, like if she can understand it and you can walk through the steps of like, hey, in the future, Grandma, there's going to be these stable coins, and you could pair them up so there's no impermanent loss, and we could get you like 20% probably.
Well, yeah, that's the thing
Easy.
that I think a lot of people don't realize. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about like how good the yield is on Hex, and like I don't think they realize that there are other tools out there to generate just as much, if not more yield, and you don't have any lockup or real risk. Like
Yeah.
liquidity providing doesn't have any any more risk than holding the asset. You know, obviously there's impermanent loss and stuff like that, but impermanent loss is based off a potential gain that you would have had by doing something else. It's not based off you losing your actual money that you put in. The only way you lose that is if the coin price goes down, but you would lose that anyway if you were holding it. So it's not like there's not really much of a risk there aside from holding the coin.
Yeah, and that's why I like the future, pools that we'll have as far as stable coins. So you're like telling me, wait, I got impermanent loss into $1 from $1.
From a dollar, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
I
okay.
lost the potential gains from holding $1 by it
For
staying
$1.
at $1.
Yeah, let's go. Let's hit with some closing statements, man, because the blueprint is we try to chop it up for an hour. We chopped it up for a good hour. We kind of went round circle about all kinds of different shit, which is always good because it's the shit show. We're just shooting the shit. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah, man. What do you got as far as when's your next Twitter space with SJ?
So this week, actually, and I heard her in the intro, so I know she's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
SJ said she couldn't make it, so I'm doing my space with Whitney Magic,
Okay.
and we're going to be talking about something that I know is important to you guys,
Yep.
and that is the importance of female voices in crypto.
Oh yeah. And if you notice, it's kind of cool. I noticed that she has a website called Queen of Millions.
And we got Queen Pooey.
Yeah. Because we were talking with her prior to some of that stuff going down, and I'm really happy for her. We're a big fan of everything she's doing. Dude, she's a queen, and I think she had a freaking show. Her and I've been just going back and forth with some dialogue, and she's going to come on the show not next week because so we do open mics on Monday, and then next week we got and then Thursdays we do open mic. So y'all, we have open mic tomorrow. Doesn't matter if it's Pulsechain, it could be any chain. I don't care. Come up in here and talk your stuff as long as it ain't no scam or rug pull. Then we got Crypto Coffee coming up in the house, and then we got our boy TA coming up in here to do some TA and charts on Wednesday. But I think the following week, Whitney's going to come up in here and kind of talk about all the great things she's been doing. Because I think yesterday's conference, however she went down, I think it had like 800. You'll find out, dude. I want to hear the Twitter space because I'm pretty sure she had like 800 freaking people up in her course.
Yeah, she's killing it, and
she's killing it, man.
Pulsechain has the most powerful women that I've ever met in crypto or even out of crypto. Like the amount of women here that are doing cool shit and kind of just like planting their stake in the ground and like saying like I'm here too and I have a voice. Like I love that so much.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Well, shout out to you real quick before we close, because you created Queen, you guys like as a collective created Queen Pooey, and Queen Pooey is meant to be an onboarding tool, I think geared towards women, but it's generally an onboarding tool for everyone, but it's more like focused on getting women into crypto, correct?
It's just my belief, and this is like at a certain point, then when we tee up the women to come on the shit show or have their own show, the goal is for me to get out of the way and let the DeFis of Diva, the DeFis, the queens really have the opportunity to speak, just like Whitney Magic's doing. I think that the population, like we know that crypto's been dominated by guys for a long time. And part of the reasoning behind that is dudes are more willing to jump off a fence, more willing to, for the most part. And so
we're crazy. Let's just get it out. Like,
yeah. But when you have the Hexagon women, the Pulsechain women, like the SJs, they're savage. badass bitches, flat out. I ain't messing around. And so when you have women, where I think the population of women in crypto is going to increase dramatically this cycle.
I agree. And I've been pushing for that for 10 fucking years. So I'm
right?
happy it's finally happening, because when I first got here, I'm looking around and I was like, this is a sausage fest. Like, where are all the
Yeah.
women? Why aren't, like, this stuff is so cool. Why aren't women like on board and informed about what we got going on here? Like, they could change their lives too. So for me, it was always a matter of trying to figure out what the obstacle was that was preventing women from showing up, and then trying to get the messaging out to them, like, hey, we got this cool thing over here that you can benefit from too. Like, come on in.
Yeah. So when we made Queen Pui, we sat down with some similar alien tech founder on chain. You guys can figure that out. And then we tipped the hat to them. So Queen obviously buys and burns UFO, PTGC. It buys
Which
and
I
burns.
love.
Yeah. So it's a tip of the hat to them. And then it's fallen in line with the narrative that we believe that the queens are gonna be just do your thing. Women, they bring a different energy, they bring a different power. Going back to our superpowers, you have superpowers, I have superpowers. Women have superpowers where they could teach women. But you know what? Guys show up to listen to women a lot more than they do. I mean, look at KDP, dude. You know, but if you ever heard KDP up in like a Twitter space, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I seen KDP, take a picture of herself. You would hear her and you'd be like, holy shit, this woman knows DeFi. You know what I mean? I mean, she knows her crypto.
That's what's awesome, because women also have, generally speaking, like, obviously you don't want to just pigeonhole people in, but women tend to have a different perspective. And I always love different perspectives, because it's an educational opportunity for me. I love learning, and I love seeing things in different ways and understanding why people view things differently. And I think women, scientifically, it's been proven that they're generally more anti-risk. So I think for them, like, understanding like how they would construct a portfolio versus how I would, like, it helps educate me in terms of maybe seeing some blind spots that, me being a reckless male, like, I'm not paying attention to, like, hey, maybe I should pull it back a little or something like that. Like,
right.
It's very good to have a bunch of different voices from a bunch of different walks of life in here informing you about their perspectives, because it can help shape and perfect your perspective.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And that's why I'm really excited about having all these different perspectives up in the camp, because it takes a tribe, and they're part of the tribe. You're part of the tribe. And yeah, this shit's going to get real here real soon. So, that being said, anything else you want to tee up off on, man?
Yeah, I just want to say I love what you guys are doing. I will always support you. I think you're a bunch of great people, and you've been nothing but nice to me, and I appreciate you welcoming me and also having me on. This is now my second time, and I hope there's many more. I love the conversation. I love what you guys have built, and I will be a supporter forever. So thank you for all that you guys do for the community. I want you to know that I see you and I appreciate you.
Right on, man. With that being said, you guys, I'm going to tee things off with the opportunity for you guys to know that tomorrow, Thursday, on the shit show, we got open mic. So that's open invitation for y'all to come in. Shill, thanks for hopping in here, man. I'm going to tee up this video. If you want to hang back, you can hang back, but I'll kick this thing off with a video, and we'll rock and roll, man.
Pulsechain to the top. Let's go.
Let's go.
We about to get balls pumping. You wanna see a show? Stick around and you'll see something. Other blocks repping chains. Can't be coming. PTV coming. We coming. We coming. We coming. market cap, don't be nothing. We got to make your pulse feel something over here. No fucking, we about to put a stop to meme. Harden only wants to shill. After us, all the memes gonna mean nothing. We the
Hey, you guys, thanks again for hopping up in here for the shit show. Thank you, Shill Gates, for hopping up here on Wednesday here. For anyone watching live, thank you. For the replay gang, check it out. A lot of different conversations going on here. Crypto, politics, world, geopolitics, all that kind of good stuff. With that being said, we'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for open mic. You guys have yourself a great day. Peace.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne, living in...
It's Richard Hart, rumored billionaire and bidet service technician. I'm here to install your bidet, sir.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Here we go. Look at that technology right there. It's going to wash your butt, and your butt's going to be clean. Let's get to work. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Wow, this thing actually works great. Well, anyway, Richard Hart here, rumored to be a billionaire, installing a bidet for someone that I love. It seems to work just fine. It only cost $100, and well, I don't see any leaks. So, clean butts for everybody.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on